I almost died on June 7th. I was in a really bad car crash on a divided freeway where a car slammed on its brakes in front of me and I had to dodge into the next lane in order to avoid them, and a box truck hit me in my rear end. It was a big box truck too. It was one of those big Enterprise ones that you see on the road. This is a picture of it. Yeah, that hit the rear of my car and somehow I'm okay. Spun me around a couple times until I was facing the wrong way in incoming traffic, but luckily I was able to pull off the road so we didn't get hit again. The crash was so big that it involved 5 vehicles, and I know exactly what my mistake was and what I can do better next time, but mostly I just don't understand how we're alive, how I was hit by a truck that size and I'm not dead. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I wasn't the only one in the car either. My partner was in the car in the passenger seat, and my husky Shasta was in the back seat when we got hit by this giant truck. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry that I haven't been posting. June has been horrible for me. It's just been one thing after the other, not just the wreck and the totaling of my car, but other things too, mostly stuff with my mother. My mom's reaction to this whole thing, you're not gonna be surprised. Somehow I was still surprised, but I feel like you guys are gonna tell me, Jess, this is Linda we're talking about. You should have known better. Okay, you should have known this would be her response, and there's something else that you guys are gonna yell at me for. You're gonna say that I'm dumb, and maybe I am. Maybe now that I've needed to utilize it and have to deal with her in this circumstance, I'm realizing I'm an idiot, but I've been letting my mom pay my car insurance, and I thought I was one-upping her. You know, in a way I still feel like I am, because I haven't paid my car insurance in 5 years, I'll tell you that. But now that I finally needed to utilize the car insurance, it's just been enough of a headache that I want to pay for my own car insurance. I think it's time. Even if I have to swipe a credit card every month to pay for the car insurance, I'm paying for my own. I want this woman 100% out of my life. I don't want even this tiny shred of connectivity between us anymore. It's getting cut like an umbilical cord today. Well, as soon as all this is resolved, because it's just not worth it. Okay, saving $100 a month isn't worth it to me. I'll just pay it myself. I'm ready. All right, I'm a big boy. This is why I haven't been posting regularly, but I want to start doing that. In fact, I want to prioritize my YouTube channel because I love it. I love you guys so much. I love the community here. It is so fun. At least I'm back with a juicy story time. You know, my goal is to post at least 3 times a week. Don't hold me to that, but I want it to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, that is the plan. Let's talk about the crash, because that's what you're all here for. June 7th, I was taking my friend home. They'd been here visiting. It was a great time. It was time for them to go home though, so I was gonna drive them home the 3 hours, spend the night there, and then come back home the next day. Our drive was normal. You know, the traffic wasn't too bad. It really wasn't super busy. It was just average Columbus, Ohio traffic. In fact, I didn't even make it to Columbus. It was just average Ohio traffic on a Saturday morning. Now, the crash happened at 11 a.m. and I know that because I took a screenshot of exactly where we were for the police so I could accurately describe the point on the highway that the crash occurred. I just know that I had 149 miles until my destination and that it was about 11 o'clock a.m. when the crash occurred, because my 911 call was at about 11:02 or 3, so the crash happened around 11:01. The highway I was on is US 23 North, so there's 3 lanes on one side, then you have the grass between it, and then the 3 lanes on the other side, which was 23 South. I was on North. I was heading north to drop my friend off. There was a black Ram in front of me and a black sedan in front of them. Here's what I think caused the crash, okay? I think the 4-door black sedan in front of the truck that was in front of me decided that they needed to do a U-turn because she went the wrong way. So she started to slow down and put on her turn signal. The black Ram in front of me wasn't paying attention. And I know this because I talked to the couple that was in the truck and he admitted to me that he was distracted looking at his phone. So I think the black Ram slammed on his brakes. Well, I don't think that, I know that because that's what happened. The old guy driving the Ram slammed on his brakes in front of me, which ruined my day. And I think he wasn't paying attention to the sedan in front of him. I think he was looking at his phone, looked up, went, oh shit, realized that they were trying to turn and he was going to hit them, so he had to slam on his brakes. I remember seeing his lights turn red. I just remember I was driving and then all of a sudden I realized, shit, his lights are red. He's stopping. And I don't know how much time between him hitting his brakes to me registering that his brakes were hit. I just know that my eyes were on the road and I know it took at least a second. I feel like I got confused because I didn't think there was anybody in front of the black truck because the sedan is the same color and they kind of blurred together from what I could see. I just thought it was the black truck in front of me, so I thought he was just tapping his brakes. I didn't know he was stopping because I didn't think anybody was in front of him until I realized, wait, there's a car in front of him and he's braking because he's about to hit her. So what I think is about to happen is that Ram is going to hit that sedan and I'm going to hit this Ram. I can't hit this Ram, guys, because I'm slamming on my brakes. I was going 60 Okay, I was going a little bit over 60, in the 60 to 61 to 62 range. That's what I told the police officer after, because that's about where I was going. When I hit my brakes, we slowed down maybe 10, 15 miles per hour, maybe down to 50 miles per hour, but that was it. My car was going to hit that ram in the ass, okay? And I was driving a 2019 Toyota Corolla. Toyotas, they're great in a crash, okay? But you know what any type of little sedan does, okay? Any little car like that does when it hits a truck in the ass going 50 that is sandwiched between a car in front of it? That truck in the middle acts as a brick wall because there's no give at the front of that ram. In my mind, that ram has already hit that sedan. If I hit this truck, that truck is going to get sandwiched so that the old couple in the truck, they're probably dead. And then I'm dead because I'm essentially hitting a brick wall. The truck. We can't hit this ramp. This is what's going through my mind. And I only have seconds to realize this, okay? If I'm here, the truck is here, my car is, it's gonna hit it. I knew if we hit this ram, we were gonna be severely injured or dead. I'm thinking if I can get this car to a safe stopping point without the airbags being deployed, then we'd be okay. For some reason, life and death for me hung on this one thing. What can I latch onto to protect us? What is one goal here? Because obviously it's to not die. Obviously it's to protect us, protect the car, protect my dog and my partner, right? It's to protect us. How can I do that? Well, if the airbags don't deploy, the crash isn't that bad, right? If the airbags deploy, bad crash. No airbags deploy, no bad crash. If I can keep control of this car until it stops and we're free of this monstrosity of evil that is now unfolding in front of me, then we're gonna be okay. If I hit the ram, the airbags are gonna deploy. So no hitting ram. Well, these are the three options I had. I could keep braking and hope that my car stopped in time and hope that when I did hit the ram, that it wasn't as fast, wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But here's the issue with that. I didn't know who was behind me. Whoever was behind me, they could hit me. It could be a 4-car pileup now instead of just a 3. And then I could be sandwiched behind the ram and the guy behind me, then we're really dead. Okay, I can't hit the ram. Forget that option, because that one is, I would say, 70% chance of death, 30% success. We don't want to do that. Now, here's option 2. I could go left, because there was the median there. That black sedan was going to do a U-turn right at that concrete part. You know how there's a bunch of grass between the divided highways and there'll occasionally be a patch of road where cops sit or you can do legal U-turns? That little thing was there. I could try to jerk to the left and go through that and try to get to the grass, but here's the problem with that. If I'm not quick enough, we're going to shoot out into the other part of the divided freeway where people are going south instead of north, and we could get hit over there and cause a pileup over there. Or I managed to swerve around this sedan that was pulling into that area. I managed to swerve around her. I go in the grass. I lose control. I flip the car. We end up on our freaking heads upside down type scenario. Or I make it, but I don't get around the black sedan that was already turning and I slam in the side of her driver's side. I kill her and us. Or just her and I have to live with that. That really is honestly worse than hitting the ram in the ass when you think about it. That's like an 80-20, 80% chance of death or something horrible happening, 20% chance of it going okay. This is all going through my head in like 1 to 1.5 seconds. Quick, this is how I'm gonna explain it to you. From the time that I reacted to the ram braking, the truck in front of me braking, to my car coming to a stop and the whole event being done, I would say 5 seconds. From the point that I reacted to the ram's lights coming on and I started braking to the next event of the crash, I'm gonna tell you about 1.5 seconds. So when I tell you that it took me about 0.5 seconds to hit my brakes and then another 0.5 seconds to consider turning left, going left, my last 0.5 seconds was considering going right. So immediately I looked at my mirrors. I saw that there was nobody to our right. Now I couldn't check my blind spot. There was no time to go over my shoulder or we'd be dead. So when I saw it was clear, I made my choice. At that point, my front of my car is here. Say the front of my car is right here. The ram is here. I'm somehow able to do this. I don't know how. I thought I would at least scrape my mirror off or my driver's side was gonna hit the side of the ram. Like somehow, with not much space, I was able to whip my Corolla into the right lane and not hit this ram at all. Completely save their truck and the front of my car. I thought that was it. When I jerked into the right lane, when I saw it was clear and I jerked into the right lane and the car responded, even though I had been braking, I must have let off the brakes in that moment to then do the maneuver and it worked. My tires somehow weren't burnt up from that. It worked. I had the traction I needed. The car responded, the wheels turned, and I was in the right lane. I was okay. It was okay. Because of that, I completely relaxed. I'd been going through it. You know, I thought we were about to be in a bad crash, but then I just avoided it. So I relaxed. I'm thinking, oh my God, we're okay. The silence after that was the most eerie silence I ever heard. I didn't hear the truck hit the sedan next to me, which was confusing, but I also didn't hear anything hit us until something hit us. And it was big, and it was loud, and it was forceful, and it felt like I was hit by a truck. And that's because I was. That truck. that I showed you before hit us in the ass. We start moving faster again because at this point, I hadn't started accelerating. I had only slammed on my brakes and then jerked over in the lane. My roommate was like, why didn't you accelerate? Because I didn't think there was anybody behind me in that lane. I didn't think I needed to accelerate. My next step would have been to pull off to the side of the road safely and help the Ram and the Sudan people. So when I didn't hear the Ram hit the Sudan, I'm kind of confused. I'm thinking, it didn't cross my mind that, okay, maybe the Ram stopped in time and didn't hit the Sudan. I still thought there was conflict there and I just didn't hear it. But when we got hit from behind, now my mind is back on us again. All of a sudden, we're back in it. I'm tense again. I'm no longer relaxed. I'm tense again. But we're not just going straight. We're getting spun. So the angle that the Enterprise truck hit me in the rear end, it started accelerating us again because the Enterprise guy told me that he had been trying to drive past the accident because he could see that the Ram was probably going to hit that Sudan. So he was accelerating to try to get past the whole accident to avoid getting hit at all. But because of that, he took my escape route from me. So when I negated the crash myself, like I'm supposed to as a driver, I go into the empty lane. This dingle nut, who should have been braking and going way less fast than he was in a big truck, he was going almost 70 in a truck when you should be going 500 in a big truck like that, was accelerating instead of braking. If he'd been braking like he was supposed to, I never would have been hit in the butt. There wouldn't have been a crash at all. But because he was trying to accelerate past it, when I took my escape route, he was in my blind spot. I didn't see him. He hit me. He's at fault because it's his job to watch the cars in front of him and make the right choice. You see a crash about to happen, you hit your brakes. You're in a big truck like that, you're not supposed to be going 8 over. So this guy got ticketed. This guy's at fault, but I'll get to that. He almost fucking killed me and my partner and my dog. When I felt that hit us and we started going faster again, right back up to 60, it was crazy. Having another car hit you and be your momentum, and I don't even have my foot on the gas, but we're accelerating. That's a crazy feeling. I thought my dog was dead. When I felt that, I thought I fucked up, really. I thought, oh, I should have hit the Ram because now we're dead. I thought I was going to feel it keep splintering, but it didn't. I only felt it splinter once. And we accelerated, and then we spun. We did a 180, and then I was back in my original lane again. The one that I just got out of, I was back in it again, facing oncoming traffic. Thank God oncoming traffic didn't do what the Enterprise driver did and accelerate. They hit their brakes like normal people. So I didn't get fucking hit again. That's what could have happened is now that I'm facing traffic again, I get hit by. That's how crashes keep getting worse and worse. We could have been dead. But luckily they had stopped. So I was able to then ask my partner, are you okay? And I look in the back and my dog's okay. He's on all 4 legs completely fine and I'm able to glimpse the wreckage behind me and I can see that my car is gone. The truck in my car, the back windshield doesn't exist anymore, but my back seat does. And the front seats do, and my Corolla was still rolling, okay? All 4 tires are intact. There's no way for me to fill it. But the tank wasn't compromised, wasn't dripping at all. Perfectly holding all the gas that I just put in it not an hour before. So that was crazy. Shout out to Toyota for that. Like, your thing crumpled like a Coke can, but in the way that it's supposed to. And nothing that could have been flammable was compromised at all. I was able to drive my car off the road back into is that called the median? The part where the cops sit. I was able to pull it right up into there. And as I was doing that, I make eye contact with the woman driving the black sedan. The woman who I thought caused the crash. We make eye contact and she looks terrified. And the whole first day, I hated this woman because I thought she slammed on her brakes because she needed a U-turn and it caused the guy driving the truck to slam on his and then me to slam on mine and so on and so forth. But no, she just slowed down to take a simple U-turn like you would any other day. The old man in the truck wasn't paying attention and that's what caused it. So now the horrified look on her face when she saw me after getting struck by that truck makes sense because she saw me get struck. And so when she drove off, it wasn't some lady causing a whole accident and driving off. It was an innocent bystander just taking a U-turn and then seeing what happens because the truck behind her wasn't paying attention. So I'm sorry for temporarily hating that stranger for a day. If you ever see this, which you probably won't because what the hell. Random person on the road in Ohio doesn't follow me, but I just karmically and cosmically, I've apologized to that lady in the black sedan because she was just driving like me. The old people in the Ram are at fault. If he would have been 3 seconds behind that lady, he would have reacted in time. Even if he was looking at his phone texting, he would have looked up in time, probably been able to react. At this point, I'm looking around. The Sudan had driven off. I see the Ram in front of me. They pulled off into the grass. I thought they got hit in the nose. Turns out they didn't get hit at all. They were able to not hit the Sudan, and I was able to not hit them, and they got to go on to their family reunion. And they were both nice. You know, I hugged them both. They were nice people. They seemed sad that my car got screwed. Like, I got screwed the most. I was the only car that couldn't go about my business that day. That's just my luck. It is what it is. I'm just glad we're alive. But I see a black SUV with the front left of it's mangled, and then I see a big white Enterprise truck. And I'm thinking, the SUV is what hit us. Thinking, wow, it's kind of crazy that only the front left of their SUV is mangled, because they hit us so fast. Like, I figured the person behind us was dead. Well, it wasn't until I talked to the cops, which I called 911, by the way, and the 911 lady was super mean. I called 911 after I had pulled the car off the road, and she was yelling at me to stay in the car. She was like, no, you need to stay in the car. And I said, no, we need to get out because we're literally facing oncoming traffic. If I sit in this car, I'm dead. She wanted me to stay in the car facing the wrong way on a divided freeway because that's safer. And I'm like, lady, no, you don't understand. The car is basically on fire right now. I can't stay in it. I'm convinced this woman would have yelled at me to stay in the car if it was burning. Okay. And I'm like, me and my partner are getting out and going to the grass in the middle of this freeway where it's safer, not sitting in my car facing oncoming traffic, you dipshit. So if that lady sees this, you need to quit your job at the call center because you're a moron. I don't know what they're teaching you, but when I tell you that the drivers on the freeway are coming this way and my car is facing this way and they're gonna hit me if I sit here, you shut the fuck up and let me get out of my car with my partner and my dog, you dumb cunt. Rolls up sleeve in anger. So after I just started ignoring this lady and she's like, well, they're on their way and if you're not gonna talk to me, then I'm gonna hang up. And I remember grabbing my phone and I just said, then hang up then. And I put it in my pocket. And all I know is when I grab my phone again to call my roommate and tell him what happened, that dumb bitch had hung up. Most useless 911 operator lady I've ever encountered. I hope that you have a terrible Christmas. I hope that nobody shows up to your birthday party. And I also hope that every fucking stair that you go down today has a fucking Lego on it. I understand that she gets stressful calls all day, that every day at her job is stressful. I understand that you get calls from people that are literally choking on their own blood from a car accident. And I get that every single day is stressful for you and that you experience car accidents all the time, but that was my first one. I don't experience that every day. And if you can't maintain decorum and empathy every single day you go into your job, your place of work, maybe that high stress job isn't for you. Because I could have used some fucking empathy and kindness when I was going through that. Thank you very much. That's like a surgeon that isn't able to go and talk to the family after they lose a patient with kindness. They just have an attitude about it. Find a new fucking line of work if you can't do that. Don't work with kids if you hate them. Don't be a 911 call operator if you don't know how to talk to people. So after I'm telling the cops my statement, they keep asking me this question. What lane was the Enterprise truck in? I'm confused why that fucking mattered. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing because I didn't know that's who hit us until the cop tells me, no, you weren't hit by the SUV. The Enterprise truck hit you and then went on to sideswipe an SUV. And I just looked at this officer like, we were hit by that? Going that? Well, we were only going that? And we're okay? What? For a whole 3, 4, 5 days to a week after the crash, I didn't understand how I was alive. It's not survivor's guilt so much, but just survivor confusion. It's like when your brain's all foggy after you go on a bender. That's what I felt like. I did my job correctly. I was following at the right distance. I reacted as quick as I could. I slammed on my brakes. I realized that wasn't going to be enough. I looked at all of my options. I selected the best one. And we were okay. Guy behind me didn't do that. The guy in the Enterprise truck, whose name is Frederick, didn't do that. When I talked to Frederick, he was apologetic. He hugged me, he was really nice. He helped us get our mangled Segway scooter out of the trunk because that was in there when we got hit. And I'll put a picture of it here where the Segway is in the trunk. The Segway, the handlebars were wedged over here and the back wheel was wedged up here. And I truly think that being wedged like that is why more of my frame didn't crumple and hurt my dog potentially, or even us. Now, you're also probably asking yourself, okay, still Jess, that truck hit you in the rear. Yeah, it crumbled like it's supposed to, but why didn't it crumble more? Well, they're made to kind of have these crunch zones, these impact zones, because if it didn't crumble, then you would die because the force of being struck would go through your body, not the vehicle. So these crumble zones exist. It was meant to fold in on itself like that. But why didn't it keep going? Because of the way the truck hit. Say my fist, this is my trunk. And this is the truck, okay? This is the front of the truck, and this is my trunk. If the truck did this and just hit my trunk and the trunk crumbled, it would have kept going through the car. We'd probably be dead. But instead, the nose of the truck did this, and it smushed my trunk down and then pushed up. So it shattered the windshield, but the trunk was kind of folded up here against the truck, right? And so it couldn't fully squish. It was hit, but then flattened and compressed down and then pushed, not just pushed. So because of that, not only did the car not crunch up more, but none of the windshield glass even made it into the cab of the car. Like, it all kind of stayed in the trunk, which was really cool. But after the cops got there and we all gave our statements and everything, we had to wait on the side of the highway for about 2 hours. The crash happened at 11. I didn't get picked up until about 2:30. Okay, and you're not gonna believe who picked us up. My roommate's crazy mom, who I got into a physical altercation with like 8 months ago. The one that doesn't like me showed up. So life's weird that way. And I guess she's off my shit list. I guess she's forgiven. I guess little things and little arguments in life don't really matter when it comes to life or death scenarios. Go figure. And I missed my car, and his name was Connor after Detroit Become Human, if you've ever played that video game. And you know what? He did his job. And I kind of wish that it was like the game, and I would just get a brand new Toyota Corolla in my driveway today. A brand new Connor, right from the factory, but that's not how it works. There's a whole other nuance to this story, and it's called Linda. It's called the Linda part. My mom pays my insurance, which means when all this happens, I have to contact her. I've had to do once before when my roommate was driving my car and hit a deer. It was a bit of an annoyance to have to talk to her. My mom pays for my insurance because she sees it as her one ticket to being in my life. She's a narcissist. She doesn't want to lose all shred of contact, so if she pays for my insurance, eventually I'm gonna need her. Well, I'm a good driver, so I don't think I'm ever gonna need her. I've never been in an accident until June 7th. I was finally in an accident because of other people. Not because of me, but because of other people. Silly me forgot to think of, well, you might need your insurance because of other idiots out of your control. You can control yourself just fine, but you can't control other people. Well, now finally, other people not controlling their car, their Enterprise truck correctly, has resulted in my car being totaled, and now I have to talk to my freaking mother. Luckily for me though, I have her blocked on everything, and the only line of contact she has is by messaging my roommate Cody. They talk on Facebook Messenger. I haven't even spoken to my mom yet, not by the phone or in person or anything. I have sent a text, and we'll get there. But that's the result of everything that's been going on. From the moment my mom found out that I almost died, it took her 4 or 5 messages to ask if I was okay or to say she loved me. I made the joke last night that I think my mom wishes I would have died because it would be cheaper for her insurance-wise for me to have died in that crash than to have been rear-ended and lived. Now, there was a comment that actually summed this up really well, and it said, and I quote, "Jess, oh my gosh, Mom, I was in a really bad car accident and I almost died, but I'm gonna be okay." The next part was Jess's mom. "God damn it, my fucking insurance rate is gonna go up now. Don't worry, Mom, it's not gonna cost you money anymore because I'm gonna get my own Progressive insurance, and you can go fuck yourself in whatever shitty nursing home that I choose for you in 20 years. That's been my experience. That's been my month. Pay attention, don't text and drive, and if you see a crash in front of you, hit your brakes, don't accelerate, oh my fucking god!"